This week, I'll lead you through a Vinyasa yoga practice focusing on the shoulders. We're going to strengthen, mobilize, and release tension around the shoulders with this full body flow. Let's get started. For this week's practice, you don't need any props, and I'll lead you through this practice without using any special equipment. We just have our mat and ourselves. And with that being said, we are going to start from lying down. So when you're ready, bring yourself to lie down on your back. And we'll take just a minute or two in this resting pose. You might have your knees bent, you might extend your legs. If you want, you can bring hands onto your body and just check in with your breath before we start to move. You could take a few slightly deeper breaths in and out. And just allow the pace of your breath calm down, just gently slowing down the breath. If Ujjayi breath is a part of your practice, you might start to find that gentle Ujjayi breath, that gentle ocean sound in your breathing. This helps to regulate the pace, the rhythm of our breath. But if Ujjayi breath is completely new to you, you can just focus on your regular, easy breathing here. And the most important thing is that we keep breathing as we go through the practice. If there's a movement, if there's a pose where you feel that you can't breathe, you can skip the pose, focus on your breath. Or you might find a different way of breathing. So I'll suggest inhaling, exhaling in certain movements, but you might want to do the opposite. And that is very, very fine. As long as we keep breathing. And we'll take another breath or two in and out here. And then slowly, when you feel ready to start moving, a few times circle your wrist joints, your ankle joints. You can allow your hands, your fingers to move. Just warming up, especially our wrists for the vinyasas, for the sun salutations we're going to do. Change the direction of those circles. We will have several standing poses as well, so it's good to make that connection, contact with your feet, with your ankles. You can move your toes a bit as well. And then gently reach your arms overhead along the floor, lengthen your legs, and just give your whole body one big gentle stretch from hands down to the feet. Just notice how that feels in your shoulders. And then in your own time, bring your arms down next to your sides and bend your knees. We're going to go into a bridge pose. So feet could be roughly hip width apart, so you feel you can press down through the feet. And first, as you exhale, press the feet, especially your heels, onto the mat and start to lift your pelvis, lift your back off the mat. And just gently press down through the backs of the shoulders. Inhale at the top of your bridge. And then as you exhale, slowly release your back, release your pelvis down. And if you feel that you need to adjust your feet, you could do it here. We're going to do another 2 rounds. Again, with your exhalation, press down through the feet, lifting your pelvis, lifting your back off the mat. Gently pressing down through the backs of the shoulders, feeling that connection to the mat. Again, as you exhale, slowly bring your back, bring your pelvis down. And then we'll lift up one more time, staying a bit longer. So one more exhalation, lift your pelvis, your back off the mat. And now you can either keep your arms where they are or walk your shoulder blades a bit closer together, and you might even bring hands together, interlock your fingers under the pelvis. Keep gently supporting through the shoulders, upper arms, feet grounded on the mat. Take one more breath in your bridge. And then exhale, slowly release your back, release your pelvis down, release the arms. And now you could open arms into a gentle cactus shape and swing your legs from side to side. A few windshield wipers. Just a bit of sideways movement, releasing through the spine. Another swing from side to side. And then bring your legs back to center. And now hug your knees in towards the chest, towards the belly. And we're going to open legs into a butterfly shape. So you can bring your feet together and then reach hands around your feet. And a few breaths, just gently, gently try to reach your feet away from the chest, allowing your upper back, your neck, your head to come off the mat. And this might give you a gentle stretch between the shoulder blades, so opening through the back side of the shoulders. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release that reaching, bring your upper back down. You could close the hips. And then from lying down on the back, hugging the knees, start to rock yourself up into a seat. And find a cross-legged seat. You can face the top of the mat. I'll just turn sideways so that you can see a bit better. We're going to go into a seated twist. So now bring your left hand onto your right knee or thigh, and then step your right hand or maybe just the fingertips behind you on the mat, on the floor. As you inhale, lengthen up through the spine, and exhale, gently twist a bit further out to the right. You might look over the right shoulder, or you might keep your head more neutral, looking out to the side, or you might even look the opposite way over the left shoulder. Find a gentle length through the spine, softening the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release the twist. Come back to center, and then we'll twist to the other side. So now right hand reaching towards the left knee or thigh, and left hand somewhere behind you on the mat, on the floor. As you inhale, lifting up, just opening across the chest, and exhale, twist just a tiny bit further to the left. Still allow your pelvis to ground down. Again, you decide if you turn your head or maybe you keep your neck in a more neutral place. Allow those breaths to help you into the twist. We'll take another breath in and out. And then slowly exhale, release that twist. Come back to center. You can roll the shoulders a couple of times, turn the head. And then we're going to go onto all fours, onto hands and knees. So you can turn towards the top of your mat. Bring yourself onto all fours and take just a moment to spread your palms, your fingers onto the mat, and just slightly grip the mat with your fingertips. You could rock a couple of times forward and back. You might tuck your toes under. That might help you to connect with your feet. And just feeling that support on your hands, gently tensing the forearms so we are supporting the wrists. And then from that rocking movement, we're going to lift into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under, lift the pelvis up, and then take a few breaths in your downward dog. First downward dog, so you might move here. You could bend and straighten the knees, just testing this kind of triangle shaped pose, lifting the pelvis up. And here, releasing the tops of the shoulders away from the ears, so we have that space, that freedom between the ears and shoulders. And then with your next couple of breaths, start to slowly walk your hands and feet together. You could meet somewhere in the middle of the mat, so you can shift all the weight onto your feet. Bring hands onto your shins, and now as you inhale, open your chest into flat back, so lifting your back halfway up. And then exhale, bend down again. You can bend your knees. First, full forward bend. Just rock the weight a couple of times from heels to toes, toes to heels. Testing the weight on the feet. And then bring the weight back to center, knees slightly bent. As you inhale, roll the back up, lifting up through the belly, lifting up through the chest. And then you can roll the shoulders a couple of times, open the chest. And we are up in our first mountain pose. And from here, we're going to go into our first sun salutation flow with some added movement. So make your way to the top of the mat so that you have space behind you to step back. Take a breath in and out. And then as you inhale, lengthen your arms up, open the chest. Exhale, bend down into a full forward bend. You can bring hands or fingertips on the mat. Inhale to flat back, either hands on the mat or hands on the shins. And exhale, bring your hands down. And now step your left foot far back into a low lunge. We'll bring the left knee down and we'll leave the left hand on the mat. As you inhale, circle your right arm up, twisting out to the right. And exhale, circle the right arm back down. Same again. Inhale, circling the arm up, opening the chest. And exhale, circle the arm down. 2 more rounds. Allowing your shoulders to move, especially that right shoulder, but also allowing your spine to twist. Finding some opening around the hips, the pelvis. And from that 4th round, bring your both hands onto the mat. Tuck the left foot toes under, lift the left knee off the mat, and then step into a downward dog. You can adjust your hands, you can adjust your feet, head dropping down. And then we'll go into a plank flow. As you inhale, shift the weight forward to plank. Exhale to low plank or down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog. Again, head can drop down, softening the neck. From this downward dog, we are going to step our left foot forward. So you can look forward to your hands and step the left foot to hands. Bring the right knee down. Leave the right hand on the mat. And we circle the left arm. As you inhale, circle the left arm up. Exhale, circle the left arm down. And again with the in-breath, reaching the arm up and opening the chest. The whole rib cage can turn. Exhaling, the arm comes down. 2 more rounds. You can follow the hand with your gaze, allowing your neck, your head to move as well. 1 more circle. Inhaling up, twisting to the left. And exhale, bring your left hand all the way down. We're going to step back into downward dog. So lift your pelvis up, step your both feet back. And then we'll add that plank flow here. So as you inhale, shift the weight forward to plank. Exhale to low plank or down onto the belly. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog. And again, head can drop down. And now from this downward dog, leave your feet where they are and start to walk your hands to your feet so you arrive at the back of the mat in that full forward bend. Bring hands on the knees or shins and inhale to flat back, opening the chest. Exhale, bending down. Knees could be bent here. As you inhale, roll the back up. You can reach arms up. And exhale, release your hands, your arms down. And you can roll the shoulders. Take a breath in and out. And now you can stay where you are. You can still face the front of the mat. But I'm just going to turn sideways so I can see better. Before the next round, we're going to go into half moon side bends. Either feet together or feet hip width apart. As you inhale, lengthen your arms overhead. And now interlock your fingers, bring hands together and then release index fingers up towards the ceiling. This will help us to soften the tops of the shoulders, so we're kind of locking the arms up. As you inhale, lengthen the back up. Exhale, bend over to your right into that full side bend. You might lean your pelvis slightly to the left. You might turn your gaze down towards the mat if that helps with your neck. And press down through the feet, especially through that left foot. Take one more breath here, in and out, keeping the chest open. And then as you inhale, lift yourself back up to center and exhale, release the arms. Even round your upper back, your neck slightly. Same to the other side. As you inhale, lengthen your back, your arms up. Bring hands together, interlock fingers, release the index fingers. And then as you exhale, now lift yourself over to the left. So same side bend, but to the other side. Pelvis might lean slightly over to your right. And keep tops of the shoulders soft, away from the ears. So keep hands there, helping you, kind of locking the arms up. Elbows could be slightly bent. Take another breath in and out. Just opening that whole right side body. And then as you inhale, lift back up. And exhale, release the arms, release the hands down. You can roll your shoulders. And then we're going to continue with another sun salutation flow, adding some different poses, and we'll continue from the back of the mat. With your in-breath, lengthen both arms up. And now as you exhale, bend down, that full forward bend. Either hands on the mat or on the shins. Inhale to flat back, knees could be bent. Exhale, bend down. As you inhale, walk your hands forward into plank. And we go through that plank Vinyasa flow. As you exhale, lower down, knees could be on the mat. Inhaling into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog. And from this downward facing dog, we're going to step into warrior two. But first, inhale, lengthen your left leg up into the air. And then exhale, step your left foot forward to your hands. Ground your right foot. And as you inhale, lift your back up. Open your arms out to the sides. Find your warrior two. Left knee bent, right leg extended. Chest open. You might look over your left hand fingers. Take another breath here, in and out, really grounding your weight to center. Then as you inhale, reach your left arm up, bring your right hand, right arm behind the back, and exhale into reverse warrior. If you want, you might look down towards the right foot. That might release the neck. Still send weight onto that left foot, left leg. Take another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, lift your back up. And now exhale, tilt towards the left thigh into an extended side angle pose. And we have some options here. We can either stay up here and then bring the right arm again behind the back. If you want to go a bit further, you could reach your left hand onto the mat. Maybe reach the right hand towards the left hip. Last option, find a bind, reaching left arm under the left thigh and then reaching hands together, opening the chest, opening through the front of that left and right hip, opening through the whole front of that right leg. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, release the arms, bring your both hands onto the mat. And we're going to step into plank and go through the plank flow. From plank, exhale down to low plank or onto your belly. And inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward dog. And then we're going to do same to the other side. First, as you inhale, lengthen your right leg up into the air. Exhale, step your right foot forward to hands. Ground your left foot, so water your 2 feet. And inhale, lift the back up. You can still adjust your feet, so again you find that grounded center, weight is on both legs. You might look over your right hand fingers. And breathe here. Releasing the tops of the shoulders. Feel the arms growing from your upper back. And then as you inhale, reach your right arm up. Bring left arm, left hand behind your back. And exhale, lean over or towards that left leg into reverse warrior. And again, you might look down to the left foot. Still sending weight over that right leg as well. So we try to keep the weight at the center. And then as you inhale, lift yourself up. Open the arms. And exhale, lean over the right thigh. And you have those same options here. You might lean your right elbow onto your right thigh. If you want, you can bring your left arm behind the back. You might go a bit further down, bring your right hand onto the mat. Or we have that last option for the bind. So now you might reach your right arm under the right thigh and then reach hands together behind the pelvis. If this hurts in the shoulders, don't push it. It's a big opening for the shoulders. And breathe wherever you are. Keep breathing. Keep opening through that whole front left line from your left foot, through the leg, through the hip, into the chest. And then with exhalation, slowly release the arms. Bring hands onto the mat. And again, we step into plank and go through that plank flow. Exhaling down. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog. You can shake the head. And then from this downward dog, we're going to again walk hands to our feet. So walking back, arriving onto the feet, hands on the mat or on the shins. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, bending down. As you inhale, roll the back up. Reach arms up. And exhale, release the hands and arms down. From here, we're going to continue into some moving chairs and then a high lunge. So for chair, you might bring your feet together. You might leave your feet hip width apart. And first, As you inhale, press down through the feet, reach arms in front of you, then overhead, and continue lifting into a small active back bend. As you exhale, bend the knees and sit down into your chair, tilting your back, your pelvis forward. Same again. Inhale, lifting up, press down, especially through the heels, opening through the front. And exhale, sitting down into the chair. You might look down to the mat. That might release the neck more. One more time. Inhale, lifting up, pressing down through the feet, opening the chest, the whole back line active. And exhale, sitting down into your chair. Either keeping arms overhead or bring palms together in front of the chest. Take another 3 breaths here, in and out. Actively keeping the chest open, long line from head to tail. Send a bit more weight over the heels. And then exhale, bend down, full forward bend. And as you inhale, walk forward into plank. Again, we go through that vinyasa flow. So from plank, exhale, lower down. Knees can come down first. Inhaling cobra or upward dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in downward dog. You might shake the head. You might move your feet. We're going to next go into moving high lunge. As you inhale, send your left leg up into the air. And then exhale, step left foot forward. Now we're going to keep the right heel off the mat. And we're going to inhale, lift the back, lift the arms up. You might bend your right knee so you can bring the weight to center, to both legs. Inhale, open the chest, just like we did in that chair pose. And then exhale, round your back and come forward towards that left knee, arms swing next to your sides. Inhale again, lift the back, lift the arms up, opening through the chest. You might even look up. And exhale, round the back, arms come down. One more time. With your in-breath, lifting up, pressing down through that left foot, left heel, the outer edge of the foot. And exhale. Bring your hands all the way down onto the mat. And we'll step into downward dog so that you can choose if you want to now take a bit longer downward dog, or if you'd like to add a vinyasa flow here. If you want to flow, inhale, come forward to plank, then exhale to low plank or down on the mat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale into downward dog. And then we're going to do that high lunge with movement on the other side. So now as you inhale, you can send your right leg up into the air. Exhale, step right foot forward to hands. And from there, start to find your balance, lifting your back, lifting your arms up. And again, you can bend your left knees. That might help to shift the weight to center. Inhale, lift the chest up, opening through the front. And then exhale, round your back. You can arms come next to your sides. As you inhale, press down through the right heel, the outer edge of that right foot, lifting up, opening through the chest. And exhale, rounding the back. Head might come down towards the right knee, arms next to the sides. And inhale, lifting up, opening the chest. Let's do one more full round. So as you exhale, round the back. Keep the right foot firm, grounded. And inhale, lifting up, opening the chest. And then as you exhale, bring your hands onto the mat. And again, we'll step into downward dog. And you can choose. Do you want to stay here? Or maybe you want to add a child's pose. That's an option as well. Or you might add a vinyasa flow. If you want to move, inhale forward to plank. Exhale down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. And exhale into downward dog. And if you are in child's pose, find your way into downward dog. And then from that downward dog, walk your hands and feet together, maybe in the middle of the mat. Shift the weight onto your feet. Inhale to flat back halfway up. And exhale, bend down. Full forward bend. With an in-breath, roll the back up. Reach arms up. And exhale, release the arms down. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to bring hands together behind the pelvis, behind the back. And you might even release the index fingers here, like we did in that half moon standing side bend. We're going to go into a full forward bend, maybe extending the arms behind the back. As you inhale, lift up through the chest, press down through the feet, and then exhale, bend down. And you can start by having hands on your lower back. And then if you want, if it feels good, you can extend the arms away from the back. You might feel that more in the shoulders, so be mindful with your shoulders. If there's pain, if there's pinch, you can always bring hands back onto your lower back. Knees can be bent or extended. Keep pressing your hands together, so we keep some engagement going on. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, stay in that forward bend, but bring hands onto your lower back and then slide your hands down onto the mat. And we're going to walk hands and feet apart into a brief downward dog. And then from this downward dog, we are going to go into some dolphins. So I'll suggest that we first bring knees onto the mat. This gives us time to find elbows, forearms down. So now you might turn your palms onto the mat. That might be your dolphin. Or you can interlock fingers here as well. And that might kind of solidify that triangle in the arms. Once you've decided your arms, lift your pelvis up again into that full dolphin pose. And we're going to try to go through 5 dolphin press-ups. But if 5 feels too much state, you can do less. So just listen to your body. You can come into child's pose at any point. Now from that full dolphin, inhale, shift the weight forward. So you kind of come into a plank, and then you can go even a bit further forward. And exhale, reach the pelvis up again. You might need to adjust your feet along the way. Same again. We're going to inhale forward, keeping a long line from head to heels. And then exhale, lift the pelvis up. Really using the core to reach up. That's 2. Let's try another 3. So we're going to inhale forward. Keep pressing down through the forearms. And exhale, lifting up. Keep breathing, keep breathing. 2 more times. Or you can go into child's pose at any point if you want. Inhale forward again. And exhaling, lifting the pelvis up, really pressing the floor down. 1 more time if you want. Inhaling forward, keeping a wide space in the upper back. And exhale, 1 more dolphin. If you still have some strength there left, take a couple of breaths in your dolphin. Head can drop down. And then let's all come down into child's pose for a few breaths. Release the weight off your arms. You might lean head down on the mat. You might bring hands under the head. You can rock your pelvis a bit from side to side. Just take a few breaths in and out. Then from that child's pose, we're going to go into camel pose. So now slowly lift yourself up to standing on your knees. Your legs could be roughly hip-width apart, and you have an option to either keep your toes, your feet pointed, or you might tuck your toes under. See which one feels more natural to you. And we'll start with hands on the lower back, fingers pointing down, so we could reach elbows closer together behind the back. So really opening across the front of the shoulders, across the chest. As you inhale, lift up through the chest and lengthen down through your sit bones. So sit bones reaching down towards the backs of the knees. As you exhale, lean into a back bend. And you can keep hands on your lower back, keep reaching elbows towards each other. Or if you want, you might reach your hands towards your feet, your heels, your ankles. That might give you a different kind of support through the arms and shoulders. You can keep looking up, or you might even look behind you if that feels good in the neck. If the neck is not happy here, you can bring chin to your chest. Keep breathing towards the chest. Take another breath in and out. And then if you have your hands on your feet, bring them back onto your lower back. And as you inhale, lift yourself back up. And then exhale, just come down into a seat, sitting on your knees, sitting on your shins. And just move your shoulders. Move your neck, your head a couple of times to release after that strong back bend. And then we're going to go into thread the needle. So from sitting on the knees, bring yourself onto hands and knees. And we're going to first leave the right hand down and then inhale. Twist out to the left, reaching the left arm up. And exhale, slide your left arm under the right arm. So you could lean your left shoulder, lean your head onto the mat. And you can either leave your right hand to support on the mat, or you could reach your right arm behind the back. Maybe reach for the left hip crease, opening through that right shoulder. Twisting through the spine. Support around the shoulders, support around the neck so we're not collapsed onto the neck. And breathe here in and out a couple more times. And then with exhalation, bring your right hand back onto the mat. And as you inhale, you can reach the left arm up. Twisting out to the left. You might even look up to that left arm. And exhale, release that left hand down. Same to the other side. Inhale, twist out to the right, reaching the right arm up. And exhale, slide your right arm under the left arm. The right shoulder, head can come down. And again, you might gently press down through that left hand. Or if you want, reach your left arm behind the back. You could reach your left hand to the right hip crease, to the right thigh. And that might help a bit with that gentle twist. Might help to open through the left shoulder. And breathe a couple of times in and out. And keeping that wide space in the upper back. And then with exhalation, slowly release the twist. Bring your left hand on the mat. Inhale, reach right arm up. Again, twisting out to the right. And exhale, release both hands down. And now you can choose either downward dog, the last downward dog, or We can go through one more Vinyasa flow if you want. So from downward dog, you can inhale forward to plank, exhale low plank, or down on the mat. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale into downward dog. And then this is the last downward dog. Take a couple of breaths in and out. Head can drop down. And then slowly bring your both knees onto the mat. And see if you could cross your ankles, cross your shins, and then lean your pelvis over your ankles, over the shins, onto the mat. So you find yourself in a seat. And we're going to go into a twist. We're going to leave the right leg extended and bend the left knee, so seated twist. Either left foot on the inside of the right leg, or you can step your left foot to the outside of your right leg. Now first, with your right arm, hug the left knee in, or bring your right elbow to the outside of your left leg. We're going to bring the left hand behind the pelvis on the mat, and then inhale, lift up through the back, and exhale, twist out to the left. And again, keep tops of the shoulders soft, away from the ears. And keep breathing a couple of times in and out. Neck is free again. You don't have to turn the head. And then with your next exhalation, slowly release the twist, come back to center. And then we're going to go into either half shoelace or half butterfly. So half shoelace, you would cross your left leg over the right leg, so knees are maybe not on top of each other, but almost on top of each other. Or you can bring your left foot to the inner thigh of that right leg. So you decide. We're going to go into a forward bend. We're going to inhale, lengthen arms, lengthen the back up, and then exhale, fold forward. You might have your hands on the mat, or you might take a gentle hold of your right foot. We're going to inhale, lengthen the back forward, and exhale, bend down just a bit more. We'll do this another couple of times. Keep the front of the right leg active. In breath, reaching forward. Exhalation, bending down. Like a wave going through the spine. One more time. In breath, reaching forward. And exhalation, bending down. Take another breath in and out in that forward bend. And then as you inhale, lift your back up. You can reach your arms up. And then we're going to bring hands behind the pelvis and step both feet on the mat. We're going to go into the reverse tabletop. And now it's important that your hands are in a place that allows your shoulders to support you in this pose. So fingers might point towards your feet. For some people, they might need to point more out to the sides. For some people, the fingers might even need to point more away from the feet. So find a good support. We're going to inhale, lift the chest up, so open through the chest. Start to press down through your hands and feet. And then exhale, lift the pelvis up, finding that tabletop. And just like in the camel, you might look up, you might also look behind you. This might be a very intense pose for the shoulders, so keep supporting through your legs, keep lifting up through the buttocks, thighs, the whole back side active. If there's any pain in the shoulders, come down just a bit earlier. Or take another 2 breaths in and out. Feel both arms, hands active. And then slowly exhale, release the pelvis down. Release the arms. You can circle your wrists a couple of times. Open and close your fingers, your palms. And then we're going to do that seated twist on the other side. So now we're going to leave the left leg extended and bend the right knee. Right foot either on the inside or outside of that left leg, you decide. And this side can be different. With your left arm, hug the right knee towards the chest or bring left elbow to the outside of that right knee. And then right hand or maybe just the fingertips behind you. We'll inhale, lift up, lengthen the back up. And exhale, twist out to the right. And again, we try to soften the tops of the shoulders so the lift, the twist comes from lower down. Imagine you're trying to turn your rib cage, like you're bringing your left side ribs towards that right thigh. And again, if you notice you're tensing your neck, just free your neck. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, slowly release that twist. And you can choose either half shoelace, so crossing that right leg over the left leg, or half butterfly, right foot on the inside of that left leg. And you can make a different choice on this side. As you inhale, lengthen up through the back, lengthen up through the arms, and then exhale, bend down into your forward bend. See where your hands land. Is it on the mat? Are you holding the left foot? Trying to keep the front of that left leg active. And then in breath, lengthening forward. Out breath, bending down. See if you could release the neck, head down. In breath, wave going through the back, forward. Out breath, bending down. Maybe tiny, tiny bit further down. One more time with the in breath, reaching forward. And out breath, bending down. And then take another breath in and out in that forward bend. And then as you inhale, slowly start to roll the back up, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, bring arms, hands behind your back. One more time, behind the pelvis. And now we can go into an upward facing plank, or you can repeat that reverse tabletop. You decide. If you go for the plank, extend your legs, and when we lift up, try to bring your feet close to the mat. And same options for your fingers, for your hands. First, press down through the hands, lift up through the chest, inhale. And then as you exhale, lift up through the pelvis, opening the chest. And remember, the reverse tabletop is an option at any point. You might bend your knees. Last effort for the arms. Take a couple more breaths in and out. Pressing down through the palms. Pressing down through the shoulders. One more breath, lifting up through the pelvis. And then exhale, lower down. Bend the knees, and for a few breaths, hug the knees. So just leaning forward, leaning over the legs, head can drop down. Maybe shake the head a bit from side to side. And then from this seat, we are going to slowly come down on our back. We have a couple more poses here, lying down. First, we'll do a few windshield wipers. So just release the arms. Again, maybe it's kind of relaxed cactus shape. Swing the legs from side to side. Might rock your head from side to side as well. And then with your next couple of breaths, we're going to Bring arms down next to the sides. And we're going to go into one more bridge, but we'll keep it a bit more gentle, so not too much pushing, not pulling. Just as you exhale, lift the pelvis up, open through the chest, and take a few breaths here. Just allowing some opening at the front of the hips, allowing some opening in the chest. If you want, you can bring arms overhead. Take one more breath in and out. And then slowly exhale, release your back, release the pelvis down. And then, if you want, you can hug the knees in one more time, or you can go all the way into happy baby pose. See what feels good. So if you want to go for a happy baby, reach hands for the feet or ankles, or hold the backs of the legs, and then lift the feet up into the air. You can rock a bit from side to side. If you are holding your feet, you might give your feet a little bit of a massage with your hands, kind of pressing down through the soles of the feet. Just a very relaxed, happy baby. What makes your happy baby happy? And then, if you want to take a few extra breaths here, you can do that. Also, whenever you feel it, now it's been long enough, just start to release your legs down, release the feet down. And then we start to look for our Shavasana pose. And see where you'd like to bring your arms, your hands. I'll bring my arms overhead today. That feels like a more restful place after all those vinyasas. You might keep your hands and arms down, close to your body, or maybe you want to open them all the way out to the sides. Allow your upper back to soften. Allow that space between the shoulder blades to soften. Allow your hands, your fingers to soften. You might close your eyes for a moment here if you want. And when you feel that you've found an easy pose, an easy shape, then invite your full awareness back to your breath. And you can let a few breaths move down through the chest, through the ribs, all the way to the belly. And then with the out breath, release any tension there might be in the shoulders or in the neck. You might let out a sigh through the mouth. Allow your back, your belly to soften. Allow your hips, your legs to soften, become heavy. And then give yourself at least another 5 to 10 breaths here, just resting. Noticing each breath in, noticing each breath out. after your 5 to 10 breaths, check in with yourself if you feel ready to end your practice here. Or maybe you'd like to extend this Shavasana pose. If you have time, if you want to, if you need to, then let yourself stay here longer. Allow this resting pose to be as long as is needed today. If you feel that it's a good time to close the practice, and slowly start to roll down to one side. That could be left or right side. You might open your eyes along the way. And then from your side, bring yourself up into a seat, into your own final seat. And that can be any shape, any pose of your choice. Where do you feel you could take a few more breaths? Leaving your shoulders soft, leaving your neck soft. And if it's a part of your practice, you can bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking this time to bring yourself onto your mat, into your body, into your breath, and into your practice. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this practice, this time together. Namaste. Thank you.